So we are in the Commandery in Worcester. We were founded initially as a monastery to act as a monastic hospital. We took on the name Commandery shortly later when we acquired the local hospital of St. John, and we started styling ourselves a bit like hospitallers, but really we were a hospital in the classical sense. We were a house of hospitality, and what that meant is that we would welcome pilgrims coming in, often sick, often late at night, to stay within the Commandery halls and the Commandery dormitories overnight until the city gates are opened, or until they'd got a bit better and they could go and visit the cathedral to receive their healing miracles, or they could stay right here. Because of course we were the hospital of Saint Wulfstan, a Bishop of Worcester who was himself known as a healing saint. Monasteries, of course, don't last forever in this country. Henry VIII comes along, he dissolves all the monasteries when he converts to the Anglican Church, of course, as he was founding it. And what that really means is that at that time, all of the buildings associated with the monastery here are sold off into private ownership. Initially to the Wilde family, a very wealthy Tudor merchant family involved in, well, like all of the merchant families really in Worcester at the time, involved in the wool trade of Worcester broadcloth. And you have dozens of families living here over the centuries until eventually we sort of go back into our sort of industrial roots. We become first a print works, and then finally we are restored as a museum, which is what we are today. But perhaps what we are most famous for is our affiliation with the English Civil War. Charles II comes back from exile and he leads a Scottish army down through Scotland, through England, and he makes his stand here at Worcester. And this is, of course, what we call the Battle of Worcester, the final defeat of King Charles II at the hands of the now High Commander of the Parliamentarian forces, Oliver Cromwell. But what really is notable about us for that is that we are effectively royalist headquarters. We are the billeting, the residential house, if you like, of Duke Hamilton, of the royalist forces who are defeated here and absolutely massacred up on Fort Royal Hill and at Sidbury Gate, which is about 200 yards in that direction, under a pub now, like most things. But he himself was wounded in the fighting, was withdrawn here into the Commandery. Oliver Cromwell comes in, he says, "Duke Hamilton, I can see that you are wounded. I will fetch for you my finest physicians. We'll have you seen to, and then we will have you taken down to London to face a fair and honest trial." And he's like, I know what a fair trial looks like for me. And it ends in an execution. I'm just going to wait a bit, and then I'll be dead anyway. And I can die here and die, if not necessarily happy, on my own terms. And that is eventually what happens. He dies right here in this building, in a room just off the Great Hall here, where, according to legend, he is buried for a brief time, admittedly not today. I'm told, and I can't remember if this is meant to be true, I'm told they had pumps installed to pump up foul red water from the floor, which related to a story that they told in the booklet about blood rising from the floorboards under which Hamilton was buried. But we know, of course, that he was exhumed from that spot. Guests of all walks of life have come in and they have reported strange encounters, strange things, walking across the balcony or walking up the stairs that now go into an attic that isn't there, or there's lots of reports of drums beating, which is always a bit unsettling. Although the worst encounter that I can think of really is from a former colleague of ours who is said to have been pushed while walking across the solar room, the reception room from the 1480s. It's just up there. He was said to be walking along, and he said that he felt a hand on his shoulder, and he was pushed, and he fell to the floor right then and there. When you have to be here after dark on a regular basis on your own, locking the building up, it really does help to be a terminal cynic. But yeah, that really does bring us right up to today, and well, we'll see if any more stories come of it.